Take one. We are in the midst of a series of messages from Paul's letter to the Ephesians. And now as we are in chapter 5, he is really extending more and more of how we are to be as the church. And in chapter 5, he speaks, "For at one time you were darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. For the fruit of light is found in all that is good and right and true. And try to discern what is pleasing to the Lord. Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. For it is shameful even to speak of the things that they do in secret. But when anything is exposed by the light, it becomes visible. For anything that becomes visible is light. Therefore it says, 'Awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you.'" Wow. Christ shines on us. Well, how did you wake up this morning? Did you wake up as a child of light, where you are experiencing Christ's light shining on you, and you said, "Good morning, God"? Or are you the one that immediately as the alarm went off, you banged the alarm and you went, "Good God, it's morning"? Well, because we are children of light, because the light of Christ shines on us, we can say, "Good morning, God," because the new day has begun in Christ. And not just the 24-hour day, but the day in which we find ourselves. It's a new day begun in Christ because of what Christ has done for us. It's a reminder of our identity in Him and what God has accomplished for us through Christ. And it says there in that last verse that we have been awakened from sleep. Not the physical sleep, but we've been awakened from the spiritual sleep of sin and death. But then we hear this from Paul. "Look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time, because the days are evil." What? The days are evil? Didn't I just say that a new day has begun in Christ? And so we should be able to say, "Good morning, God," and not, "Good God, it's morning"? But Paul tells us the days are evil. Indeed, it becomes part of that thinking in our faith. The now, but not yet. Yes, because of baptism, we know what Christ has done for us, but it hasn't been fully realized. And so the days are evil. The days seek to distract you and me from that which we know in Christ. And the days want to turn you aside from the way you should go. And so as we find that turning aside, what ends up happening is that we are open to a struggle. We are open to stumble along the well-worn paths of the world's ways. If you're like me, you find yourself along those paths, those well-worn paths, throughout every day of your life. They're far easier to travel. And so as you struggle along them, as you stumble along them, what usually happens is you fall into a pit, a hole. You fall into life. Life jumps up and happens to you. And as you fall into life, you encounter this world's darkness. The present darkness that we find all around us. As we find it in society, as we find it in our lives, as we find it as it happens in regards to our health, in regards to our relationships, just in regards to trying to make ends meet. But as we begin to feel this darkness closing in on us, we lack the discernment that we need about the dangers that they are to our faith. And pretty soon we can't determine what is faith and what is froth. What is that substantive stuff that we need and what is just extra? Sort of the whipped cream and the cherry on the top. And too often we make the froth that which is substance. One of those ways in which we do it is we make the wrong claims of our Christian confidence and certainty. Too often I hear it said, oh, they're such a good person. As if our goodness is what determines our certainty. Well, I'm just like Paul, as he mentions, I'm chief of sinners. But my goodness often strays from God's purposes. My goodness often falls short. My goodness is too often that which I call and which we call sin. And so not only do we make the wrong claim, but we also find out that we waste opportunities. Opportunities that we can notice what God is doing in our life. We waste opportunities of being that instrument that God uses in somebody else's life. And we waste the opportunity with empty words and fruitless works. Indeed, the days are evil. And too often we hear that if we just do the right thing or if we are good enough, God will shower His blessings upon us. That's the wrong claim. That's a wasted opportunity with empty words. Indeed, that's what makes the day evil. That's the first take. Next, take two.